transport.
I transport
bodies
deceased patients, and they'll have corona, and they'll be vaccinated still. It's crazy. And then even when you're going into the room, I guess the natural gases or whatever air that's leaking out the person still, you know, like it'll come out, and like you still have to wear like the full geared up suit, face shields, N95 mask. You have to double up your gloves just so like when you go in the room and take the patient, it's still like it's like airborne, so it's still in the air. So doing that, you have to like bundle up, and then once you get out, you got to replace your gloves, but you still got the gloves on. You have to take off everything inside the actual place, like inside the room still, just so you don't take out the germs outside with you. It's so much. And then just recently, now we're in what's called cold blue, which is basically two more up, and then we're basically going to be on lockdown because Corona's getting so bad again. Corona was only on the 3rd floor, like only all patients that had tested positive for Corona, they went straight up and admitted to the 3rd floor.
And today is December 8th, 2021.
Yeah.
I just want to say that because we keep feeling like it's over, or we're getting to the end. That's how we're.
No, it's not. It's
or like
really
I just said, did you work in COVID? But you're still working in COVID.
No, I'm still working in COVID.
So, and it's getting bad again. You're at code blue. The next step is.
The next step is if we go 2 more up, everything's on lockdown. So what we've been doing so far is there's only 1 visitor allowed. The visitor has to wear a mask inside the room. So it's getting crazy again. And even just what's crazy is just recently, you know how I said they're all on the 3rd floor? So we're going to be on lockdown soon because now there's patients who contaminated 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor. So now there's patients being admitted into the 1st floor lobby, which is emergency department, and they're getting admitted up to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor, which the 3rd was only Corona, and then now it's COVID floors everywhere. So it's getting back up there, and everyone's getting tested. Yeah, every time I go into work, I have to fill out
and there's Christmas, and there's going to be a surge, and there we go again.
I know.
It's like the
really
4th, 5th surge.
To it. I really don't, but it's going to happen. And I see it firsthand in the hospital. Like the outside, they're not really talking about it much on the news like that, but
not yet.
In the hospital, you're going to see it firsthand, and it's getting bad. And working in the hospital is just like the proof of it. Like you really need to be there and physically see how many people are coming in, getting tested, and you know, are feeling good. Like everybody that works in the hospital now, like just the other day, you have to fill out a survey every time you walk into work, and because of that, I had filled it out, and I had asked a bunch of questions. You're supposed to answer them honestly. So they said that, hey, like if you're feeling fatigued or this or that, how do you answer? So I answered that.
Same here.
And then it said that I wasn't cleared to go to work, that I had to go to antigen testing and get tested real quick before I was good to go. So even the nurses and stuff, like every day you have to test yourself because you're around the patients all the time. Like when I leave your car, not to scare you, but girl, I hope you got Lysol. Just spray some Lysol.
I do.
Yeah.
Not enough. That's a reminder.
No, yeah.
I wear the mask all the time. I try to do this,
but
well, and the thing is, we're not scared enough.
No, we're really not.
I'm thinking of what's missing, and I still don't get it. You know, I wear the mask. I you know, try to do everything. I put sanitizer on every day, but I don't understand. Like we don't see it.
No,
I'm just an Uber driver picking up people. We're wearing masks, but you don't see it.
You don't see it.
I have riders that are, you know, they'll be drunk telling me, oh no, the masks, no, it's not real, whatever.
Get out of here.
But have you seen someone with COVID?
Yeah,
like
just the other day I was with a COVID patient doing a round trip. Basically that means and because she was a high priority, so once she was connected to like oxygen tanks, so we had to just get her in and get her out. So they wanted the transporter to stay with because I was the one bringing her beds to test and back. But because of that, I had to stay with her for over an hour. And within that hour, like, you could tell she was very sick. You know, it's sad. You sit there and you look at it, but we're over there and we're with these patients with face shields on for like all day, like hours, and we're always like every day I'm seeing at least one COVID patient. Not to scare you, like I said, but it's
are they
there, and it's
I'm
real.
not scared.
I used to say the same thing, like I'm not getting the vaccine, this, that, and the third, and then up until I wanted to start working, you know, I got my job in the hospital. Now you see everything firsthand. You know, you can't make that up. You really can't make it up.
Right.
And I really don't know where it's coming from. I mean, there's a new variant supposedly, so that's why these
Omicron. Yeah, I'm gonna tell my nieces to watch this because I want them to understand. And I had so many cool conversations today. I talked to somebody from New Brunswick that she said it's they've been twittering every day, or what am I trying to say? Trending on Twitter every day because they're getting fights. All the freshmen and sophomores are fighting, and nobody really knows why. It's just that it's not the juniors and seniors, just freshmen and sophomores.
High schoolers?
In high school, yeah.
Oh wow, for what, the COVID?
It has something to do with COVID.
Even my little brother, he even don't like going to school because I had, for one, my 78-year-old grandfather's father lives with me now. He's not vaccinated. And he's like, Ma, I go to school, the kids are like this on top of each other, no mask. Like there's more than a bunch of kids at a table. Like there's supposed to be like only a certain amount, and it's exceeded that amount. And they're all just,
nobody gets it. Doesn't seem real.
They're so young, and they're just like, it's whatever. We were trapped in quarantine for so long. They're like just over it because
I've gone places where people aren't wearing masks, and I'm like, okay, so I'm not supposed to wear a mask. Wait a second.
No, yeah, but
what about your grandpa? How come he's not vaccinated?
Oh, because he's scared to get it too. Because even when you get the vaccination, I mean, I've met people in the hospital. One thing I can say, people older than him have gotten the vaccination booster and all that, and they're perfectly fine. They say, I didn't feel nothing. The shot was good. And me, when I took my shot, the Pfizer, I literally felt like I was dying. It was insane. And then he's like, I'm not even risking that because people are still, because with the vaccine, it's still injecting a small little amount of corona so your immune system can get used to it. So you'll get sick. You won't get as sick, but you're still getting sick. He don't want to risk any of that. He's like, I'm healthy, let me live.
Well, and people can have seizures, and it fights their immune. Because a friend of mine had a seizure and ended up in the hospital in Jersey Shore.
From the vaccine?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
it's so scary.
And I hear stories about people that have had seizures. So that's what people are afraid of.
Yeah, don't be scared. Listen, believe them, because like I said, you see the most unbelievable like things happening in the hospital, like that you wouldn't even expect, and it's like you don't cut just because you don't hear it from the news. You think everything's okay, it's good to go. Just walk in the hospital. It's so bad. Everything is so strict right now, and it's only gonna get worse. I know Jersey is so lenient too. That's what's crazy compared to New York. Going to New York, you need a vaccination card for everywhere. Over here, it's not like that yet, but it's gonna start to get there because I mean, from the way, like I said, the way the hospitals are getting back up with the deceased patients dying.
This is the first time I've really heard
actually
of it.
Sat down and had a full conversation. Yeah, because no one's talking about it. No one is.
There's more deaths right now. Is that what you're saying? You're doing a good job. It's good what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
It makes a difference. It might seem small.
I'm trying it. Like today, sorry to keep you from here so long. Like today, the nurses, no offense to them, they're busy, okay? Yeah. But there was this lady who even called for a patient care technician, a PCT. She, I guess, had been in the bed for a few days just laying down, and her hair got all matted. And it wasn't my job to, you know, like brush her hair. But I took it upon myself to brush her hair because I'm like, God, like, hold on, like, I feel so bad, like, it's so wrong for her to sit here like this.
I need to be like that too. Yeah,
like, she needed, like, help and whatnot, and she just sat there, and she was just, like, trying to comb out her hair, and I sat there, and I combed it out for her. I felt like, not that nurses were, like, inhumane, but I feel like I'm like, damn, like, you guys really only come here for a paycheck, yo. Like, it bothered me. It really did, you know?
You're a good example. Because even, like, you just telling me that, it makes me think, okay, as a chaplain, I need to do that.
It's so good.
And maybe they're thinking that,
too. Good things for good people. It literally, one, I believe God rewards you. You know, if you spit up, the spit will fall right back down on your face. If you do good things, God knows good, okay? And I'm very big on that. You know, like, I'm Muslim. I'm not the most religious. But I do pray to God, and I try my best to, like, stay religious, you know, and I'm just a good person. I look at it like, as long as you're a good person and God knows you're not an evil person, that's what matters. And little things like combing somebody's hair, I look at that, I'm like, yo, God forbid that was my mother, you know? Little things like that, I'm just like, of course, girl, I got you. We gotta keep each other looking cute. Making little jokes and stuff. But
and like I'll compliment them a lot and tell them their hair looks good and stuff like that.
Yeah, and little things like that put a smile on their face. It really does.
Yeah, they'll remember that too. But anyway, this says what the Bible. I don't know if you're into the Bible at all.
No, what's crazy is my mom's actually Puerto Rican. She wears a cross on her neck, and my dad is Muslim. But I grew up into the Muslim religion. But I actually have like, I have a Bible in my house. I have a Quran in my house. We're like very. Well, not necessarily all over the place, but we don't really, not to say we don't stick with one religion. We're majority Muslim, but because my mother wears a cross and stuff, we were still, in a way, like, we have like a version of Guadalupe candle in my house with like Quran prayings and sayings all over the wall. Like, we're just in the middle. Like, we just believe God, you know? Everyone got a different name for God. I just believe in God. Hopefully.
The stuff I gave you, it's a little bit more specific about what's needed to go to heaven. when you die, you know.
Yeah,
and
you know what's crazy?
Oh, in fact, let me give you one of these too. I don't know how much you want to read, but...
yeah, oh my God, I would listen, I'm so into spirituality. I love
oh, really?
like
that's amazing.
Yeah, I have like, my
this one says Hope for Hard Times,
on.
and this is good too. I don't usually give people 3 of them, but you know, it's like one or the other. But yeah, definitely. But
I would love to read this.
Okay.
Because I'm so stressed at work sometimes.
Oh, I bet.
Deceased patients, listen, it puts a toll on you. Like, I say a quick prayer, like I say Allah Yaharmu, which is basically like, may God rest his soul, or may God rest her soul, and little things like that. Like I try and say like Alhamdulillah, like I'm very like meaning like thankful for life, like thank you God for my life. Little thing that, because it makes you appreciate life so much more, and that's why I want to be such like a better person. I try and be a better Muslim. I try and do a lot of things better, but you know, there's only so much you can do as a person, especially I'm only 19, I'm still growing, I'm making mistakes. But like I said, working in the hospital really has made me like a better person for sure, because I see things now and it's like, damn, like you never know what somebody's going through. Like you'll see suicidal patients, like it's heartbreaking in a way. Like this one lady one time, she was like 90 something, and I had to go take her for an ultrasound test, and she was like, just let me be, I'm gonna die anyways. And I was like, I literally started, I swear, what did Allah, Wallah, I swear, which means I swear, I literally walked out the room because I started tearing up. Like it was like so emotional. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she feels this way, you know. And I just try to I had her smiling after, you know, and it made me feel good that she had a smile on her face after I transported her, you know. But like I said, you never know what people are going through, and working in the hospital, like I said, made me a better person. You know, I'm way nicer, you know,
and later on in your life, you're like, if we get past this pandemic, you'll be like, wow, I was there, I went through it, I saw it firsthand.
I'm being the history, you know? I'm being the books.
Yes. I mean, maybe we'll be glad that we, you know, went through it a little bit or something. But.
No, in a way, you know what? Yeah, because you'll learn to, like I said, appreciate life, you know? Like my mom the other day on Thanksgiving, she actually made a speech for my family. Because last year, Thanksgiving, we weren't able to have all the people we had now in the house, you know? So now that we were able to have my grandma, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, she like said like a quick prayer, like how thankful she was. And she's like, I'm so happy you made it to Corona.
Man, there's nothing to say. That just speaks for itself. I have so many thoughts going through my head right now. My gosh. The hospitals, that's the tell. We're getting another surge, and I think it's mostly, I'd love to have talked to her for longer. Oh my gosh. The things that mattered to me, you know, a half hour ago don't matter as much right now. 2 years. 2 years we've been going through. 2 years. As of, you know what, March. But this was when, well, we didn't really hear about it this time in 2019. I heard from it for the first time from a writer who was Chinese and knew all about what was going on from WeChat, and I wondered why there wasn't anything in the news yet. That was in about January 2020. I think February 2020 is when we all kind of, in some ways it feels like not even a day has passed. And it occurs to me once in a while, I'll look through my videos and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got like a video diary sort of thing. And then for long spans of time, I didn't tape anything. But I can tell you, all during that time, from 1 month to another, we've always thought we were at the end of this thing. For, what, 24 months or so? We keep thinking, you know, and you might have heard me say to her, to somebody else, oh, you know, what did you do during COVID? Did you work during COVID? We're still in COVID. You know, and it's not a year. They say, oh, 2020, you know, toilet paper, sanitizers, haha, that was 2020. Well, it's also 2021, and more people have died in 2021 than died in 2020, apparently, if you listen to the news, which I do, because the news has always told us the truth. I don't feel like it's all of a sudden not telling us the truth. And I personally feel like the ones who are telling us to doubt the news that we've always listened to are the same ones that brought the coronavirus. And the news that is giving us the correct information that should be protecting us from the coronavirus is being shunned, and it's being degraded as if it's not valuable anymore. But anyway, so the significant thing about this moment is it's not even Christmas yet. We don't even have the Christmas surge. and I'm going to be more careful. I think Uber drivers should be required to be vaccinated. Private companies in New York are supposed to be required to be vaccinated. The vaccination is really the tool we have to fight this war. It's the only weapon we have. And so you got to believe in something. And so I choose to believe that, you know, the vaccine is the way. But I'm just thinking, you know, I'm frustrated because my brakes are squealing. You hear that, right? I'm trying not to be frustrated because there's a bigger picture. There is a bigger picture. This hospital's right in my backyard. And that person has no reason to lie. That young lady has no reason to lie. She sees the cases going up. They are 2 steps away, she said, from a lockdown. How many steps are there? I don't know. I didn't have time to ask her. I'd like to have talked to her all day. But I'll try to take more rides as they come in, because this monster is not over. It was so interesting. I give these to my favorite riders.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and I gotta give you one of these too. Aw, thank you.